the great things about Todd's Odds, our segment with our sports betting analyst Todd Fuhrman, brought to you by FanDuel, is that even if you're not a sports bettor, you're going to get a lot out of this segment because Todd is a very entertaining guy. Like, for instance, Todd, I want you to check out this fascinating bit of factoid from the National Basketball Association. The top choice for MVP right now, Canadian Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Zach Edey, Canadian, co-favorite for Rookie of the Year. R.J. Barrett, Canadian, second choice for Most Improved Player. Now, we're less than a month into the season. I get that, Todd. But would you be betting on any of those three Canadians? And if not, Todd, why do you hate our country so much?
I mean, Jay, as if it hasn't already been a rough enough week here stateside, you have to continue to pile on saying that the Canadian takeover in the NBA is something that's very real. But it's a credit to what Basketball Canada has done to try and create these talents that are able to impact the NBA. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander would be the guy that I would look at in terms of those award markets. I mean, his numbers this season are sensational, averaging more than 25 points per game, contributing with assists and rebounds. And what's most important when we're talking about an MVP, whether it's the NBA or any other sport, there's a storyline to go behind it as well. The Oklahoma City Thunder arrived a year ahead of schedule last year. It's a team that may have the inside track to being the #1 seed in the Western Conference. And the marquee player on that roster just happens to be Canadian. I think Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is a worthy favorite and is going to be in the thick of that race from start to finish.
Todd, the Edmonton Oilers have had a somewhat mediocre start to the season, which is better than their start to last season, which was disastrous. And they had a tough loss to your Las Vegas Golden Knights on Wednesday. However, according to FanDuel, the Oilers are still the favorites to win the Stanley Cup. Are you with FanDuel on that one, Todd? Do you believe that a second Oiler turnaround is coming?
You know, unfortunately, Jay, I am, but I keep waiting for our friends at FanDuel to lengthen the odds a little bit so I can add an Oilers futures ticket to my portfolio. But since we've seen this song and a dance before, no books are making that kind of adjustment, offering up some value. The one concern I do have with the Oilers isn't about their ability to get hot and play at that high level that we saw last year during the spring and summer. It's that second and third defensive pairing that raised some red flags. They're going to have to solidify that back end if they're going to be a legitimate Stanley Cup contender.
And finally, Todd, Taylor Swift is gracing us here in Southern Ontario with her presence next weekend with a couple of concerts. However, on her off day, it just so happens that the Kansas City Chiefs are in Buffalo to face the Bills, and FanDuel has a chance for you to bet on that, whether or not she's actually going to attend. And yes is the overwhelming favorite as far as that side bet is concerned. Do you believe, Todd, that Taylor Swift will grace Buffalo with her presence?
I do believe she will be in attendance for that game, Jay. When you're one of the most powerful women in the world, the schedule waits for you, and it's not coincidence, in my opinion. She won't be performing that night, and thankfully for her, she will most likely be in a luxury box, comfortably protected from the elements of Western New York in the middle of November.
That is fair. Fun prop bets coming from our friends at FanDuel. Todd Fuhrman, you're a good guy. You're welcome in Canada anytime.